Oh yeah, I mean we're going to have opposition to this, no doubt. And your comment about constitutionality, we think we've written it in such a way that it is, and of course I want it to be. But oh my gosh, Jake, if you're a parent of young children now, and you see the rise in anxiety and depression, where nearly 40% of kids between age 14 and 24 are clinically diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and you have something like the high 20s who have contemplated suicide, and we know that there's a direct correlation between social media engagement when the average 13-year-old in the United States spends 9 hours a day on social media. Oh my gosh, we protect our kids from drinking and from smoking. We don't let them have a driver's license till they're 16.
So that is Republican Representative Chris Stewart proposing to ban social media until you are old enough. I believe to 16 right there. And I think immediately he understands that there are some significant concerns. I love when a lawmaker says, I want it to be constitutional. Well, that's a nice aspirational goal to have, to want it to be constitutional. But also pragmatically, how the hell would this work in practice? How would you actually ban everyone under the age of 16 from so many different services on apps, on web clients, on all of these different things? Like the very reason that you would do it, that people are obsessed, that they spend too much time on it, would seem to indicate that it would be like undercut almost immediately by the people that you're seeking to ban. Now, look, I think that the headline version of what he's saying is stupid and ridiculous, and I don't think it should be done. I don't think that it could be done. I do think that he is right that there are a lot of negatives that don't generally get discussed very much and aren't really being considered on how we can mitigate some of the obvious actual harm that's happening. I also just don't think that a straight out ban on literally every piece of social media is the best way to go about it. But Brett, what do you think?
I love his discussion of driver's licenses. I think there should be a test to get your social media license. Like they show you 10 things. It's like how, when you're going down a slope, how many feet should you have to stop your car? It's like when you encounter these words or tropes in a social media post, when should you kick out of reading it? Like here, which terrible Facebook meme do you really consider sharing? So there should be a written portion and there should be an actual like driving portion where someone's sitting there at the computer with you. And then also the age restrictions, I'm fine with, like before a certain age, let's make it totally illegal. Good luck with that. Let's ignore the fact that there's like a YouTube Kids that you can give your kids. I love that they lump YouTube in with it, like it's the same as Facebook and TikTok and all those ones that are just like, go for it, Snapchat. But I do think at a certain point you should stop using social media. I think that Facebook should have like a print version that an editor goes through and is like, here's the picture of your grandkids. Don't click at anything else in your feed.
Don't send something and say that like 82% of people aren't brave enough to send this out. Don't
adult safe search on, and it's not 100%. To filter out stuff kids shouldn't see. It's to filter out stuff that Aunt Mildred shouldn't see.
So first of all, before you even talked about the driving portion, I was already way ahead of you, and I was thinking, why has Brett not made this a sketch yet? You should 100% make a sketch out of this, and the adult safe search should also be a sketch. You should be making these. You could put it on TikTok. People might see it. Not the old people, but because they'll be banned. But
and like you're totally right about Jake Tavermillion. Is it constitutional? And the guy's like, I hope.
Yeah. Best case scenario, constitutional. But we're going for it either way.
And either way, we'd have to go through our Supreme Court. To be fair, I didn't care. My opinion of this had didn't change at all when I found out the guy was a Republican.
Yeah, I could. This is the sort of thing that I could imagine a Democrat doing too. They both like. Who's going to propose that we ban TikTok next week? Is it a Republican and Democrat? Flip a coin. It could be either. But anyway, there are serious concerns. But also there are concerns about like if a ban like this were to happen, what effect would that have? Obviously, that would have a wide scale effect on literally everyone, but not necessarily 100% evenly distributed. So Even Greer, director of Fight for the Future, says for many kids, especially LGBTQ young people who may have unsupportive parents or live in a conservative area, The internet and social media are a lifeline. There are very real concerns about the way that big tech companies' business practices harm kids, but we need better solutions than just cutting kids off from online community and educational resources. Yeah, I mean, look, he's not like saying that we should ban the entire internet or whatever, but like social media is really important for certain communities. Like 16-year-olds going onto an online forum are not necessarily all doing it because they're incels. Like there are a lot of people that need community, including the incels, by the way. I just don't like, the community that a lot of them end up getting. But I did want to just briefly, before we move on, give you a little snapshot of the current state of social media as of last year. So what are people spending their time on? So YouTube use is still very high. So the belief that TikTok is gonna like totally like get rid of YouTube, I don't think makes a lot of sense. It might be wildly more popular, but they're not the same sorts of content. The entire user experience is totally different. But anyway, TikTok is it's at 67%, so very popular. Instagram has grown in popularity despite TikTok, eating its lunch when it comes to Reels and all that. Snapchat has gone up. So, our content is available on Snapchat and we've got future stuff to come. Facebook has dropped significantly. Twitter also has dropped. Twitch is a little bit below Twitter, and you can see WhatsApp, Reddit, and little Tumblr hanging in there at the bottom. So it's interesting to see how these things shift over time. There's nothing super crazy there, except maybe Facebook's last 15 years have been really, or actually less than that, like 6 years have been really rough. Right, what do you think about that?
The 95 was percent of people in that age group use YouTube, but the 5 for Tumblr is just 5 of them use Tumblr.
Well, remember, Tumblr made a lot of big policy changes a couple years back that destroyed a lot of communities that regularly used it. So that is true. By the way, 1/3 of children aged 7 to 9 use social media apps. That's 7 is as young. That seems really young for social media.
They said YouTube, and anyone who has a kid, the first kid is like, we're gonna listen to music today. And the second kid is like, watch this, just do it, take it, shut up.
A different stat. It's a different, well, and I don't know what they're counting, but that's not from the same place, the 1/3 of kids thing. So I'm assuming way more than 1 out of 3 kids that are 7 to 9 use YouTube, but I think it's 1 out of 3 use a 500px. What's that photography sharing website? Probably that.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.